Hey guys, Spawns here on the PBE with another balance change double feature, this time with two AD carries, Ashe and Caitlyn specifically. So you see Caitlyn on screen here, so let's start with the Ashe. What they've done with Ashe is a bunch of nerfs. Ashe's Ranger's Focus no longer works on buildings. So you know the attack speed steroid she gets when she presses it? That'll still work because it's a buff on her. What that actually means is that you know when you have the 5 stacks and she does that, not volley attack, because there's another ability called volley, which makes it a bit confusing. But when she shoots arrows and volleys and goes, you know, that thing, that will no longer work on buildings. So, yeah, she can't shred down buildings like she's Trundle anymore. Other than that, volley has also been nerfed. The base damage has been lowered, just the base damage. So, you know, the extra damage you get from your bonus or your total attack damage or whatever it was, that is no longer, that's unaffected, which is where most of the damage comes from. This change I find kind of curious because on the public test realm, I don't know if these are the exact numbers, the new nerfed ones, but definitely she had lower base damage on the volley before, and then at some point on the PBE test cycle, they upped it to what it is right now on live, and it looks like they're going back to that. So, sort of curious. Aside from that, let's go to Caitlyn. Caitlyn is receiving buffs, unlike Ashe who's receiving nerfs. They've buffed her headshot passive, you know, the thing that stacks up, this little thing here, the headshot count. Now that shot will ignore 50% of enemy champions' bonus armor. So that means not base armor. It doesn't really interact with people in lane when they don't tend to have too much armor. It's, you know, when people actually start building armor, like, you know, chain vests and stuff like that, it's going to cut through 50% of that armor. So an interesting little change there. Aside from that, her ace in the hole, the ult, that's been changed slightly. In a sense, it is a buff, because now it gives vision at the start of cast instead of the start of the channel. So you know that kind of very short sort of wind-up time in her ult, or, you know, she presses the button, there's a bit of a pause, and then she goes, and then that bar starts going across. You know how sometimes Caitlyn would lose vision of people in that short period of time and the ult would cancel itself? That can no longer happen because once you press the ult, it means you're locked onto them, and basically what it means is the ult is now going to go off. So I don't really play Caitlyn. I haven't really run into that too many times. I have, you know, because I have played Caitlyn, but I know probably for people who play Caitlyn more, it's a really kind of annoying thing where your ult just doesn't go off. So that will no longer be an issue. I'll show you guys what that means in a second on the MF. Actually, why don't we do that right now? And then I can talk about some balance change stuff as well. Aside from that, also, I do need to talk about the EXP bar thing I'm going to in a minute. Hold on a sec. Where is she?
I have the tools for the joke.
See? Oh, hold on a sec. We gotta get her at like the edge of fog or something. Whatever. See, notice I lock onto her immediately. At that point, I gain vision of her. And let's kill her for. She's not gonna walk into that trap. There you go. No getting away from me. Anyway, yeah. So that's how that's gonna work there. Gives vision immediately upon clicking on the person. You don't have to wait for that little channel thing, or that channel bar there. Now, in terms of Ashe, I don't really know what to say about Ashe because I haven't, like, I've seen her on the public test realm, or rather on live a lot, and I've also and also played her on the PB, and she felt really strong. I don't want to make like any sweeping judgments here because I don't have a particularly strong opinion on this, but she felt very powerful, especially the ability to shred towers as quickly as she does with her Ranger's Focus. Like, that seemed kind of a little bit out of line since she seems so good at other things now. You know, since like Ashe actually has damage now, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, every champion does need to have some weaknesses, and when you're good at kind of everything, some things need to get toned back. Not saying that Ashe is good at everything and doesn't have weaknesses. I'm just saying, you know, tower shredding seemed a bit overkill to me personally. The volley change, I don't really know too much. Like, I don't have too much of an opinion on. It's just some damage. Caitlyn, I find these balance changes interesting in the sense that Caitlyn has this sort of reputation as not scaling all, or she scales very poorly. I can see where this is coming from. I don't entirely agree with it, but I understand why people say it, simply because Caitlyn's strengths are largely based around kind of very long-range engagements, which tend to be a lot better in the laning phase, as opposed to, you know, later in the game. Just because, you know, when you're in lane, a lot of it's just kind of very simple trading, and when you're simply trading with auto attacks, or, you know, trying to outrange abilities and stuff, Caitlyn is just going to straight up win those engagements because she can outrange you. She clicks on you once, she backs off, and, you know, you can't really auto attack her back without any kind of, you know, sort of weird interactions and stuff. Now, that does remain good throughout the game. Obviously, Caitlyn is not going to scale like a Fed Vayne or something. But in terms of solo queue, range is quite important. I mean, it basically allows for you to have sort of less precise or less, positioning that's not as good, essentially. You can kind of screw up in your positioning of Caitlyn and tend to get away with it. And it creates a very large margin of error for you. And typically in solo queue, people are not going to be, have very good position a lot of the time. So, creating a sort of a margin of error for yourself for better consistency is a very good thing. Now, obviously, her damage is, again, not Vayne, carry class, or something like that. But, with people building so tanky lately, interacting a little bit with the tank meta, once again, I suppose, ignores enemy champion armor. I don't think it's entirely a coincidence that people are starting to think about that kind of thing with Caitlyn. But, I'll give her some more late game options. I don't think this is particularly out of line. And the alt change, that's just to reduce annoyance, really. It's more of a quality of life change than a true balance change. Like, it is a balance in a sense. It is a buff that, your alt won't screw up anymore. But, yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts on AD carries. I don't want to get... I realize I talked a decent amount, but I don't want to get too in-depth on AD carries because it's my least favorite role. I don't like playing it. So, yeah, that's it for me for now in terms of balance. I'm off to actually the EXP bar, or what is it, the Vancouver Twitch Meetup at the EXP bar. So if you happen to be in Vancouver, you might want to show up. It's going to be really crowded. I don't know if you get in. But, yeah, it'll be, actually, it's going to be streamed. There's going to be like a live stream going like the last one I went to, if you guys remember that. I'll be hosting it on my channel, twitch.tv/Ponce. If you want to check it out, go to the link below or description below. Click on the link, go to twitch.tv/Ponce. You'll be in my chat and you can like see the EXP bar stream. I'll probably be wandering around in the background somewhere, possibly drunk. I don't know. Maybe I'll show up on stream and play some games again. I think the last time I played Smash Brothers or something on stream for a few minutes. But if you decide to check that out or go to the EXP stream itself because you managed to track it down, please behave yourself. I realize, keep in mind you're representative of me, so be respectful to the other people who are on the stream. There'll be lots of people there. Developers, too, like actual game developers. They'll be doing interviews about new games and stuff that they're making. A lot of really cool stuff going on there. Anyway, this has nothing to do with League of Legends balance, but I just thought I'd share that because it's a... I'm really excited about going to this thing. So if you want to check it out, again, description below. And, if you decide to go, hope you have fun. Anyway, see you guys around. Thanks again for watching.